Hey everyone, so today we're going to be talking about the mini excavator that UGA has. It's a Caterpillar 303.5E2. It's a smaller model, but it's a great learning tool. So we want to go ahead and get you guys prepared on how to use it, how to be safe around the machine, and what to expect. The Mini X is a pretty safe machine to operate as long as you know what you're doing in and around the machine and you have the correct protective equipment. So before we get in there, let's go ahead and go over the PPE. You want to make sure first and foremost you have protective eyewear. Then you want to have a hard hat to protect your skull. Earplugs, the machine can run pretty loudly. No loose clothing or jewelry. If you have long hair, I would make sure it's in some sort of ponytail. And then finally, and very importantly, have closed-toed shoes. There should be no sandals anywhere around the machine whatsoever. Okay, so as you can see from the video, I'm doing a walk around of the machine. I'm making sure that there's nothing in the way of the machine, in or around it, no sort of fire hazards. I'm checking all the hydraulic lines to make sure there's no leaks, all the cylinders. I want to make sure that it's been greased up recently before I start operating it. It looks good, and we should be ready to go. Alright, great. So let's go ahead and go over an incorrect way of starting the machine up. There is a safety feature that is great, but can be easy to forget, so we're going to go over that. You see me buckling up. I try to push the lever down. This is called the hydraulic control console, and then start the machine, and it won't work that way. This is to prevent you from accidentally hitting one of the joysticks and then moving the machine. So you have to start the machine first and then push the console down, which leads us into the correct way of doing it. So you're going to approach the cab just the way you did before. Make sure you watch your step, grab hold of both handles on the cab. Make sure your feet are clear of the track pedals. You're going to buckle up. So important to buckle up. Look for the key, turn it on just like a car, and then you're going to look for the hydraulic control handle. Nope, there it is. Push down, there you go. Before we go over how to control the excavator, let's first get it set up. So we'll move the sled up using the right handle, and we'll use the right stick to move the entire boom up. Now that we're set up, we'll go and take a look at how the joysticks work. Now, this part can be confusing at first, but once you get some time and practice under your belt, you'll have it in no time. We'll start with the left joystick. If you push right, the entire cab will turn right. And if you push left, the entire cab will turn left. Now, the front of the boom is called the boom stick, and if you push forward, that boom stick will push out. If you pull back, that boom stick will pull in. And finally, the little thumb wheel on the left joystick controls the swivel of the entire boom, which is great when you're in a tight spot. For the right joystick, I'm going to go a little bit faster. So when you go left, the bucket's going to close. When you go right, the entire bucket's going to open. When you go forward, the boom is going to go down, and when you pull back, the boom will go up. If you need to pause the video, I'd recommend doing it now. We're going to go ahead and start talking about the travel of the excavator. We'll start with the speed. The speed should always be on the lowest setting when you start the machine. The dial is right next to the ignition switch. For turning, when you pull back right, the entire machine will turn right. And when you pull back left, the entire machine will turn left. When you push forward, the machine will push forward. And finally, when you pull backwards, the whole machine will go backwards. While traveling, always check your surroundings for any hazards, and keep the bucket and boom all the way in to keep a low center of gravity. This will help prevent tipping. Alright, and we've made it. Now let's talk about parking. You're done for the day. The biggest thing to do is protect your teeth and make sure you release all the hydraulic pressure. George here is lowering the boom, making sure the teeth stay parallel with the ground. He gently lays it on the ground, and now he's going to let the sled all the way down. Finally, he's going to release all the hydraulic pressure by pushing the handles. And that's it for this training lesson. So, big thanks to George Haynie and Bryce Moy for all their help. My name's Bryce Schubert. If you have any questions, please let us know.